Welcome to Jurassic Park.
Not even supposed to be here today.
I'm just a fucked up girl who's looking for my own peace of mind.
Welcome to the party, pal.
I'll be back.
I'll have what she's having.
I'm gonna make him an offer again.
Here's looking at you, kid.
You're gonna need a bigger boat.
All right, Mr. DeMille, I'm ready for my close-up.
Hello, I'm your host Jim McLean. Welcome back to another episode of More Than Pixels on a Screen, a spoilerific movie review podcast brought to you by Banterflix. There will be spoilers. There will be tangents. But as I say every week, we know that's what you're here for. No one actually wants to hear us talk about movies. So joining me, as always, back from his week reprieve, is my lovely co-host, Adam Neeson.
Hopping
Adam, the catchphrase is back. Hello, Joe and I had lots of fun last week talking about Terminator, and I got a little bit worried about Joe's obsession with Anu's ass.
There was a point where I was listening to it walking through this bar and genuinely did a big laugh out loud, and a woman was like looked at me. I was like, if only I could tell you what I'm not listening
you had
to.
Reach out your phone and show the pod and go, you gotta listen to this.
I just showed her my arse. Went, do you want a bit of that?
Yeah, show her a bit of ass and see where it goes. So that's my lovely co-host, Adam Neeson, as I say, back from his holiday last week. And joining us in the studio is our resident Disney queen. I'm not going to sing the song, Victoria, because it's not we need to talk about Disney. But you've got that little face. She gave me the little face, Adam, so I've got to do it. I've got to do the resident Disney queen. Yeah, let it go. So, yes, it's the lovely Victoria Brown.
Hiya. Very, very glad to be back.
Victoria, it's been a while since we've had you on. We had you last on, I think it was a Christmas special when we were talking about Disney.
God, was that how long ago it was?
Yeah, you were getting very defensive about how we didn't like Mickey's Christmas Miracles or whatever
yes,
it was called.
I remember now.
Yeah, whatever it was called, Mickey and his...
We haven't spoke since.
Yeah, Mickey and his famous ukulele. Was it a ukulele? Harmonica, there we go.
Ukulele might have been funner.
And Goofy's son was a dick. Yeah, it's all coming back to me now. So, on this episode, Adam, we're going to be talking our usual level of nonsense.
Yeah.
If you're here, as I say, for movie reviews, maybe fast forward a good 40 minutes or so, but we are going to be talking about The Mummy. It's back in cinemas, although I'm a little bit worried. I don't know, as we go to record, if it's back in Northern Ireland cinema. So, Adam, I don't know if you've done any research in this.
I'm sure if it's not, you could just sit really close to the TV and put on ITV2.
Yes.
It'll probably be on.
That and The Shawshank Redemption.
Yeah.
That and one of the Fast and Furious movies.
And
Jaws 3.
The Hobbit, Battle of the Five Armies.
That's in disguise cinema territory.
Well, they love it on ITV2. Well, Hot Fuzz, that's always a good.
Hot Fuzz, yeah, I'll give you that. So yes, it's back in cinemas to celebrate its 25th anniversary. That does make me feel old, because I remember going to see this in the cinema, but hey, Jurassic Park's even older. I remember going to see that in the cinema. Stephen Sommers, big, massive blockbuster, starring Brendan Fraser, Rachel Weisz. We will be talking about that in just 40 minutes time.
50 minutes.
Yeah, so that's the main thrust of this pod. Of course, we'll always be talking what else we've been watching, but I think before that, I think we will kick things off with a little bit of banter. So yes, it's back. It's the banter of the non-specific kind, so we don't infringe on any other Northern Irish podcasts. Adam, you were very excited about what you wanted to talk about in this section of the show.
Yeah, well, after last week's record, the week before's record, with me, you, and Joe having a great time, I went home and I was like, I don't feel very well. But sure, I'll go to bed because I'll have to get up early the next morning.
Because you're a working man.
I'm a working man. Put on my uniform and stood in the bathroom. Thought to myself, might black out here. It's probably not very good to go to work. Turns out I got tonsillitis for like a week. And was dying with just continuous fevers.
Oh, this is the key point I want to know. And I know Victoria's very excited. Did you have any fever dreams?
Of course I did. Me and Barry Keown, we were having a great time. He was in the nip. And I was like, well, sure, it's Barry, isn't it? It's all right. I've seen it all before.
Were you in the nip?
Well, I eventually got in the nip. Do you know what I mean? Because he was like, come on, we'll kiss. No. I was talking to some dead relatives at one point.
Right.
That was fun. I watched a lot of movies, which was good.
So hang on. In your dreams, you watched the movies? In your fever dreams, or just while you were sick, you watching movies?
It's not really that clear.
Okay.
But when we get to what you've been watching later on,
well, we will come to that section in the any other business, any other movies section of how many movies Adam has watched. So, Victoria, start thinking. Bear in mind, Adam has been sick for a little while, so he's had a bit more free time. So that gives you an idea. Start thinking of your number, and start thinking of your number, listeners, as well.
Also, the place that I work, which I can't really discuss, but if you're from Belfast, you know that
It's sunk.
the roof blew off the building, so I was off for more days. So put that into your head when thinking about the number of movies I've watched in the last week.
Okay.
Fun game.
And you're now fully recovered from tonsillitis?
Yeah, it's great. Hello.
Do you have to get them out?
No, but I was like, I've always wanted to have my tonsils out.
I had mine out when I was much younger.
All right, bumble brag.
Yeah.
I've always wanted to have mine out because I feel
You
like
got yours?
No, I've still got mine. They're very, very strict with who's allowed them out and who's not.
I thought you were going to say your tonsils are very, very strict.
Yes, my tonsils are sentient.
I'm not getting out.
That's a horrifying thought. Do you know what that reminds me of? Do you know the weird berry things in South Park where they're like, member?
Oh,
Just in
yeah.
the back of my
Member
throat.
berries.
Yeah.
At the back of your throat.
Yeah.
Remember when you were sick? I do.
Yeah, I had my tonsils. I don't know how old I was when I had my tonsils. I just have a vivid memory. The only thing I can... we lived in Oma, and I got a really bad infection, and I was rushed to... I think it was up to the Royal, and I have just this vivid memory of being taken on a trolley. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I can remember, and getting loads of ice cream.
What toy did you get after?
I can't remember what toy. I remember I had to go for others. I think I've maybe talked about this on air before. I had to go for bigger surgery when I was slightly older, and down kind of in a very masculine kind of region. Had to go for that when I was younger. Undescended testes. And
penis reduction.
Yeah, penis reduction. It was like just wrapped around my legs even when I was about 8. But no, I had a little problem with undescended boyos and had to go for surgery. And I remember very vividly my mum saying, look, you've got to go for surgery. And this is a time, listeners, and you're going to look at me because you're both two wee whippersnappers, right? And you're going to look with me shock and awe here. My mum sitting I have this vivid memory of my mum sitting at the bottom of the bed, and she goes, right, you're going to have to be a really brave boy. You're going to have to go for this surgery. And she tried to explain to me what it was and didn't really get it. And she's like, right, if you're going to be really brave, your dad's going to go up to the Argos. I said that, the Argos in Belfast, the big one, and we're going to get you the Ghostbusters fire station.
Fucking right.
And I was like, yeah, great, happy days, lapped it all up. But I always think back, what would have happened if I'd have just been like, you know what, Mum? I don't need the Ghostbusters fire station. I don't need this surgery. All right, let's just waddle out of this hospital here as I'm not even able to kind of stand up straight. I don't know, reasoning with what would I have been? I would have been, because I actually was recently back home in Oma and I was looking through, because I got from all my classmates, I think it was like P3, P4, so how old would I have been?
7?
Yeah, around that age. All my classmates had done me little homemade like get well soon cards.
Aww.
And they were all Ghostbusters related because I was obsessed with Ghostbusters.
Wait, so hold on. So everybody in the class, was this for your tonsils?
No, this is for the...
Oh yeah, so...
I don't think the doctor came around and said, right, well, this is what surgery you've got, your classmate has got to get. This is the testicles. By the way, we'll just throw it in. This is a vagina. But no, I think they were just like, your classmate, James McLean, is going to be off for quite some while. And the teacher probably had a hangover one day and was like, let's just sit down and do some little get well cards for little James.
I was thinking that like they were like, oh, we're not going to get him anything, for getting his tonsils out. And the teacher was like, look, he's getting his bollocks lowered. And they went, fuck.
Gotta get him something.
Get the crayons out.
Gotta get him something. Get the crayons out. Yes. So I found them. They were lovely. From Peter and Stuart. And Stuart, I'm still friends with. Well, still Peter, I still know as well. I found those. So yes. I don't know how really, other than your tonsils, we got from your sore tonsils to my sore balls. And
gives it all 20 minutes.
Yes, Brian, any memorable surgery from when you were younger?
I've never had any surgeries.
Ever?
No. The idea of it freaks
Have
me
you
out.
tested yourself to see if you're like Bruce Willis?
Not lately.
Well, not lately, but in
She's got dementia.
what's the film Unbroken or Unbreakable?
Unbreakable?
Yeah, you could be like Unbreakable because that's a whole plot point. Whereas his son's like, you've never been sick, never remember you being unwell. And it's like, I've never had surgery. And it's like, you could be Unbreakable. You could be a superhero in an M. Night Shyamalan Ding Dong movie.
I mean, I don't know if I have the charisma for one of his.
All right.
You could drown in a puddle. Out of context, that sounds weird.
Yeah. I'm just going to clarify. I'm just going to make it clear. I'm not offering you that. Yeah, but you were just very unimpressed. You were like, because you could feel like you were thinking about it, and you were like, nah.
No, I was really racking my brain. I don't think I've ever had any surgery. My sisters have. I haven't.
I don't want to. There's a whole privacy act. You don't really want to talk about your sisters. You're here. You can give the information freely, unless you're going to get your sisters or the lovely Mrs. Brown in to give consent. We cannot go any further with that discussion. So, hello, Mrs. Brown, if you're listening.
Wondering how long that would take.
Yeah, hello, Mrs. Brown.
Hi, Mrs. Brown.
I still haven't got you on the pod to sing. Because hopefully this is your point. We're going to put you on the spot, Victoria. Our listeners we need to talk about Disney back. We finished the Dark Ages retrospective. That was back in December. It took us a while. But, when are we going to get round? Because we're changing it up. Because I know I kind of stepped in as host. But you're going to be the host of that now.
Maria and I have kind of talked about it. We're thinking either the really bad direct-to-video sequels or the Disney Channel original movies.
Yeah.
I haven't decided yet.
I love the way I'm part of that little section of the podcast. She's like, yeah, Maria and I have talked. Just because all Jim ever wants to talk about is either Blackbeard's ghost or the black hole.
Or your balls.
Jeez.
Didn't see it, does it even?
Yeah, that was an early one, yeah. Kurt Russell starred in it before he did the thing. Okay, so I don't really know, Brown, other than surgery related, any other general, nearly said it, general, non-specific, any other non-specific banter been going on since, well, you've had a long time, since December.
See, there's something I can't reveal on the podcast yet, but
I
I
know
will
what
be
it
revealing
is.
it in a couple of months, hopefully. But I need to keep that close to my chest for now.
I don't know what it is.
We all know what it is, but we can't tell.
Sick.
Victoria's next Bond. She just put a little casting in, and she's like, shaken, not. Give us it. Let's give her the line.
God, shaken, not stirred.
They were like,
sounds good.
that's the way we want to. That's the way we want to go.
Jesus.
Broccoli at broccoli.com. Next casting.
And before we've announced that, Adam will have went on Twitter and said, nah, it's not happening, mate.
It's not happening.
Just because
Debunked.
in virtue to our movie news section, which we're coming up to shortly, I was like, have you any movie news? Not much. Adam went off with a whole ton of stuff, and I was like, maybe Sam Raimi might be directing the Spider-Man 4 movie. And Adam, you said?
No, it's on.
Yeah, so there we go. So, Adam, you can officially... Jeez. This is a shambles. For me, not that much kind of excitement, really. I went Timmy Mallet hunting up the North Coast.
And everybody said, who?
Who's Timmy Mallet? Well, somebody in this room certainly said who. And, a very important part of my childhood, Timmy Mallet. And we went around the North Coast, couldn't find him. I won £20 in the National.
Ooh.
Nice.
Not going to let it change me. And I had some ice cream and then went home.
What kind of ice cream?
What the flavour? White chocolate.
Oh.
Yeah.
That does sound nice.
It was nice. It was like, because my lovely wife did treat me as if I was a 7-year-old child. She's like, well, we promised you ice cream, so we're going to get you ice cream. So I had to go to a place. Was it Ballantoy Harbour? And there's a little ice cream shop, and they had white chocolate. I was like, yeah.
Were you telling the people we were looking for Timmy Mallet?
Yeah, and they were like, I was here last week. You're like, no, they didn't know. Because it was like we were following his Twitter. I will say to anybody, whether you know who Timmy Mallet is from childhood or not, follow him on TikTok or X. I think that's the two main social media platforms he's on. Probably Facebook as well. And his videos, he's been doing a bike ride all around Northern Ireland, and it's been great. And I've actually started reading his autobiography because I'm a bit of a nerd. And he was actually talking about doing the Camino a couple of years ago for, in context, he's done a bike ride round Britain. He's doing one for Northern Ireland at the minute. He was doing one a couple of years ago for the Camino in memory of his late brother. And it's all about reaching your potential. And it's great. And I must say his autobiography is lovely.
Surely we can get him on this.
I'd love to get Timmy Mallet on
If
this.
anybody sees Timmy Mallet round the coast, tell him that Adam and Jim from Banterflix want him on.
And Martin Scorsese may or may not make an appearance. I reckon Timmy Mallet love that.
Timmy Mallet loves a bit.
Yeah.
Always loves going with a bit.
He loves it. He's whack-a-day and blah, all that stuff. Make it happen. Or maybe if I just bothered. It's a bit like our campaign to get Darby O'Gill back on Disney Plus, or our plans to screen Darby O'Gill next year with the two Tato men fighting each other, or having on the waterfront at the waterfront. I guess if I just tried to maybe did a little thing, like sent an email, or even send him a message on Twitter.
Shout it out loud.
Open the window and say, Timmy! Or put the mallet symbol up in the night sky. If I maybe bothered my arse to do something, we might make it happen. So with that, depressing news that I still haven't found Timmy Mallet. I'll keep looking for you. I'll get you next time, Mallet. I think we'll move on. And Adam, it's jingle time. It's time for a little bit of movie news.
It's movie news time.
Yeah, it is. And in no way does that infringe on copyright. Because as you've told us before, you actually got that made personally on Fiverr.
Yeah, it's like I said, it's by Sammy Dean and Bobby Pearl.
Yeah, they're from West Belfast.
Yeah,
Good
yeah,
lads.
good lads.
So, movie news. I already mentioned Sam Raimi possibly in the running for directing Spider-Man 4. I'm intrigued by the idea, but you've already said it doesn't look like it's going to happen. A couple other, I think, was it... a couple other names have been mentioned. I don't know off the top of my head who they are. They're hoping to get starting to shoot that later this year.
I think they're desperate.
Yeah.
To be like, we need a fucking Spider-Man movie now.
So Sony needs a hit.
Yeah. You're telling me the Craven's not going to be a hit?
I don't know. Maybe Old Mrs. Webb 2 might be the hit that they didn't know they needed.
Has that made money? I never even looked it up.
Nah.
Let me look it up. Let me have a wee Jeffries.
That's great radio.
Webb, did you make money? Let's see.
Do you know sometimes when you read some reviews for podcasts and be like, fucking like all they do is like look at their phone and read stuff. This actually just perfectly sums up that point. It's like literally Adam's like, oh, I actually don't know this fact. Let me just look it up on my phone right now.
It made $100 million
from a budget of
80.
So that means there's not going to be a Mrs. Webb 2.
Oh no!
I'm sure Dakota Johnson's got it.
She looks it.
Yeah, she looks it because she is Madam Webb and she is the madam of this web. But leave it, Adam. Her mum gets shot in Peru
while researching spiders.
Yeah,
in the Amazon.
Yeah, leave it, Adam. Okay, so that's kind of so we don't know at the minute with the way this pod's recorded. The Sam Raimi thing could be completely debunked. You're debunking it here this evening as we record. Or maybe it's going to be confirmed. I don't know. I have a little bit of movie news involves your big uncle. But do you guys want to share any movie news that's caught your attention? I know since we last recorded, it's been confirmed there's going to be another Matrix movie, which I'm kind of excited about. Drew Goddard directing. He's taken over. Lana Wachowski's still going to be writing. I know this is about 2 weeks old, so it's not really news. It's movie olds. But I'm excited because I quite liked The Matrix Resurrections, as flawed as it was. I love the kind of ethos behind it, and just that the fact the Wachowskis are just mad as hatters, and they're like, yeah, fuck it, let's do it.
Like, I loved the last one, and the point of the last one was that Warner Brothers are going to make another sequel regardless if the Wachowskis are going to be involved, and this is what they're kind of doing.
Yeah.
Sounds fun.
They promised us in the post-credits scene a Matrix movie with just cats.
That's so good.
Yeah.
Let's go.
I'm up for that.
See if they call it Matrix Rebooted. I'll be like, yeah, they're going the right way about it.
Yeah.
Because that just sounds good.
I'm intrigued. Yes, we don't have the Wachowskis directing. Lana Wachowski is coming back in a screenwriting capacity. I love the ethos behind the last film because basically they said, look, we killed these characters off at the end of the third film, and that's not how we wanted to leave it. So we came back and we kind of... It's a love... Matrix Resurrections. Isn't that it? Matrix Resurrections was... Or Matrix Resurrection, I should say. Was a love story at most. I thought it was fab. As flawed as it was, yes, there was a couple of cast members didn't come back, and sadly no Hugo Weaving, but Neil Patrick Harris was all right.
And a bit of Jonathan, what do you call him? I'm going to say Glazer, but it's not. From, this isn't going to make the pod, Hamilton, the guy from Frozen.
And Manhunter.
Yeah.
Yeah, him.
That's his name.
Yeah, so if you know the guy who was the king in Hamilton, he was in Manhunter, and he voiced the baddie, I think, in Frozen.
No, he plays Han, or not Han.
Oh, is he the good guy?
Kristoff and Han.
Oh, Kristoff, who likes reindeers better than people and wants to be lost in the woods with his feelings.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you know who that is, message in.
I can look it up, but people have already complained.
No, people will complain about that. Okay, so that's movie olds. I do have a bit of movie news coming up for you, Adam, and relating to your big uncle. But Victoria, Adam, any other movie news caught your attention?
I mean, not particularly. The only one I've seen, because again, it was on Twitter, so I don't know how reputable the source is. Pamela Anderson might be joining the Naked Gun remake. I don't know if that's true or not.
Possibly true, with Adam's big uncle.
Jim, what's your news?
Have I fucked that?
My news might have involved Pamela Anderson, the Naked Gun remake, and Adam's uncle, Big Liam.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so apparently that's happening.
Sounds good.
Interesting.
Did you not know that they're related?
No.
No, they are?
No.
Did you not listen to the pod a couple of weeks ago?
I always listen.
Liam phoned.
Jeremy Melanie?
He phoned him and all. He's trying to run past some jokes. I'm gutted that we don't have any more jokes from him this week.
Well, I've only got one section.
You're back. Well, you haven't been at work. You've been sick.
I had tonsillitis, so I couldn't talk on the phone. He's actually ringing me non-stop.
He was like, I can't talk. He's like, I don't know where you are, but we'll find you.
So if I have a load of voicemails that maybe crop up in a couple of episodes.
I'm still excited about this reboot.
Yeah.
I said it before, but listen back to previous pod. I just hope Liam Neeson plays it completely straight and doesn't try to be like a goofball or anything like that, and everything just goes horribly wrong. Pamela Anderson's casting, I don't know.
Well, in the first one, if I was like, you'll never believe who's the love interest, Priscilla Presley.
Yeah.
Isn't that cool?
True, I suppose, and I don't know without Googling, is she an age-appropriate love interest for Big Liam?
No, surely not. Let's have a Google. Uncle Liam is 71.
And hang on, hey Siri, how old is Pamela Anderson?
Pamela Anderson is 56 years old.
No, she's not an age-appropriate relationship for your Uncle Liam, but he'll take that cash back.
Why is your Surrey sound like a Southern Irish woman?
Because you can change it.
Can you?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
I can change. You can have an Australian fella and everything.
Oh, hold on.
G'day, mate. What about you? What do you want? It's me, fucking Surrey.
Let me do mine.
Don't know if I believe you or not.
What age is Liam Neeson?
Liam Neeson is 71 years old.
I have Robot Woman.
Yeah, there you go. You've got the traditional Surrey. Are you iPhone-based or are you Android?
I'm per Android.
Yeah, you're in the loser club.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm Android as well. I don't know what I've done.
All right. Okay. Okay. It must be the leftover. It must be just the madness from the tonsillitis. So yes, Brian has kind of preempted my thunder with Pamela Anderson.
I swear that wasn't on purpose.
Was it though? Was it though? So Adam, it's over to you. Any movie news?
Jim.
Yeah.
As if we weren't going to talk Joker 2.
That's true. I suppose actually this is the point where Adam, dear listeners, messaged me. Let me see if I still got the message here. So Adam messaged me a couple of weeks ago. Thankfully, it wasn't in the bath this time.
But the funny thing is,
you were in the bath.
I've texted you. I actually had a nice bath because I had tonsillitis. But don't forget that I was.
Do you think we're getting too close, Adam?
No, absolutely not.
Like I was, like Brian was quite shocked earlier on when I finished the phone call to you earlier on. I love you.
What do you call it? I just remembered during this text that I was high fever. Adam.
Okay, it happened. So Adam Neeson, Friday. It happened. I wanted to rewatch Joker because of the new trailer. Can't find my Blu-ray, so I've had to buy it again. To which I then sent Adam this.
A bullshit. A bullshit. Bullshit.
And your response was, we all love to laugh, but not as much as this guy. And it's a photograph of Adam watching Joker. So this must now be like the 9th version of this movie you've watched. Or the 9th version, not the 9th time you've watched it, the 9th copy of this film you have now on DVD.
Well, seen it 3 times in the cinema, got it on Blu-ray, and probably watched it on some sort of streaming site. And then now I own it on Amazon.
Yeah.
So as you can tell, I'm excited for Joker 2. I'm not. It looks terrible.
I am really surprised. A lot of people I know, some of them I respect, others I just know, are very excited about this. And they're like, oh my God, the trailer looks amazing. That final shot. I was like, does it though? I am saying this, and when we talked about Joker, when we had you on and Joe on the pod a couple of weeks ago before it was released, and I said, I'm the person who I know got caught up in all the hype. I was there at Venice, let me drop that, and got to see it, was there for the big standing ovation that it got, and all the kind of, oh no, it's not, oh, it wasn't, that's France, so they'll be like, forget about it, that's all they'll be doing in Venice, doing that for like 11 minutes or whatever it was, and I was like, oh wow, whenever the slow version of Sending the Clowns plays, I was like, oh, this is something quite impressive, and I can kind of see that he's used Martin Scorsese's films as references. I came back and watched it at a press screen a couple of weeks later at the Dublin Road and literally felt like I was watching a different film. I sat there with my lovely wife, and I think it was Alan Meeben was there beside me, and we watched it, and I was like, you really like this? It's like, I thought it did. And it's just long, meandering, and as I said before, Joaquin Phoenix gave a better performance a couple of years before Joker in I Was Never Really Here.
Yeah.
And I don't know. The only thing that's kind of hold me on to that it might not be super shit is Lady Gaga. Because I think Lady Gaga, Adam, you're laughing, so I know where this is going to go. I think she's rarely poor in anything. I mean, I even liked her in Machete Kills.
Yeah. Well, you know, it is a musical. And Todd Phillips wants you to know that, because I don't know if you spotted the reference to the umbrellas at Cherbourg. Oh, isn't he so smart? Well, now he's just fucking doing New York, isn't he?
Yeah.
And is Liza Minnelli going to turn up as Lady Gaga's ma? Of course she is. Is Lady Gaga going to be secretly a nurse that's working for Arkham the whole time? And they're going to reveal that, they put her in as a plant? Of course she is.
Do you know my flaw? My theory is going to be that maybe her character won't even exist, because isn't Zachary Beats, or what do you call her?
Zazie Beats.
Zazie Beats.
Mm-hmm.
She's rumoured to be back in again. And if you've seen the first film, sometimes her character's real, sometimes she's not.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of like, part of me is going, oh, is she going to be could Lady Gaga be a completely imagined character?
It's not fucking fun. Like, with Todd Phillips made The Hangover.
Hangover 2.
And The Hangover 2. And
Hangover 3.
And the thing with The Hangover and Starsky and Hutch, and the thing with the...
He also made, is it Due South, or whatever, the Robert Downey Jr. film?
Oh, Due Date.
Due Date.
That's a fucking terrible film.
Due Date, they've got to get there. And then he also made the weird kind of war movie.
War Pigs.
Yeah, War Pigs with, isn't it?
Oh God, was that him?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh no. Okay.
He has a great cinematographer. I'll say that.
I was gonna say, because why do people talk about him like he's this great auteur? I don't
A
understand
certain type of men all seem to think he's amazing.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, like, if you're of a certain age and you're like, The Hangover was the fucking best thing ever, and it's like, some of the shots...
How many times you see The Hangover, Adam?
Maybe like 4 times in my life. That's not too
bad.
bad.
Go back to see it in the cinema, like, did I like that?
I seen it once, and I sat beside an elderly couple. This was like opening day, like 12 p.m. I sat beside an elderly couple, and they fucking loved it. That's what I remember about seeing Hangover. But I don't know if you remember the Hangover 2 teaser trailer. That was just shots of like Thailand and like a dodgy apartment block, and it's a beautiful looking teaser. And even The Hangover 3, I think, is a beautiful looking movie, even though it's not funny whatsoever.
No,
but it is a beautiful looking movie. But Joker, the first one, you can't deny there's some beautiful scenes.
Yeah.
Even though I've said before, a lot of it is just... pretentious isn't even the word, because it's literally a fucking idiot thinking that he is being artistic. Like, see, like the whole like narrative of like filmmaking where it's like, if you turn the sound off and watch a film, you should be able to know what's happening.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine watching him shoot people on the train and then he goes to the bathroom and dances. And what, like, in your mind, you'd be like, what the fuck's happening?
Can I just say, see, that is one sequence I do love in Joker.
Mm-hmm.
And the key thing there, because you mentioned a silent movie, is the score. The score for Joker is stupendous.
Mm-hmm.
And that sequence, it's amazing.
But in the narrative of the movie...
Yeah, it's buck stupid. It's pointless. Ultimately, it's like, what's the point?
Yeah.
If you walked in there, you're like, all right, mate.
And even... I'm taking a shit. But watching it the other day again, I know we're getting into fucking what you've been watching. Watching it the other day again, the movie is broken up into so many bits. Like sections is like, I went and seen Bruce Wayne. I went to Arkham. I found out my ma isn't fucking my ma. Blah, blah, blah. And then I think that like the second movie is also going to be bits, but every section will be a set piece of a musical. Do you know what I mean? So they've kind of fucking Frankenstein this movie together. And
it only exists because it made a stupid amount of money, and it even makes less sense now when you have James Gunn saying, it's like, right, we're going to have this whole new thing, or a whole new DC universe. Oh yeah, we're going to have Elseworld titles because the Batman and the Joker made a shitload of money. And I think, did you make this point a couple of weeks ago?
Mm-hmm.
If they're going to carry on with another Joker, if it makes another shitload of money, and the Batman sequel, whatever it does, they'll eventually... Well, it can't, because they've already got a Joker in the other Batman universe, unless it's not the Joker. But then, hey, if you read the comics, there's 3 Jokers.
Yeah, it's 3 Jokers.
There's 3 Jokers, just to really confuse you. Brian, did you like Joker?
I feel like I can't contribute. I haven't fucking seen it, because
Adam will lend you the DVD.
I have no interest.
Well, actually, you can't, because you can't find
I'm
the
all
DVD.
right.
Moreover, I've got VHS.
You're all right.
Betamax.
I loved Batman growing up in school, was
Yeah.
obsessed, loved the character. Like, I have a copy of the Killing Joke that I just take out and look at sometimes.
You ever read it?
I've tried. I find comics quite hard to get into, but I think it's just because I'm not used to it.
Can I just ask you, see, what's your interpretation of the last 6 panels? That's a very nerdy joke.
That was a very nerdy joke.
Do you think
I'm
that
trying to rack my brain and think of what the joke is?
they share a joke and Batman laughs, but then it goes silent? And Alan Moore's interpretation is that Batman snapped Joker's neck.
Oh.
And that's the killing joke that
That's a very Alan Moore interpretation.
Joker finally beat Batman.
Hi, Alan Murray's a barrel of laughs.
Yeah, well.
It's a delicate soul.
Anytime anyone ever makes a joke. Oh, it's a killing joke. So, yeah, Joker, you have to still see Joker 1.
Mm-hmm.
So I think before the Joker 2 is released, you should watch that.
See, I've watched the
Just
trailer.
don't watch it with Adam, because he'll be standing behind you, just do.
That might help.
No,
The credits play, and I'm like, clean around me because I'm staying for the next one.
Yes, so we've that to look forward to later this year. I think on that note, we've done a bit of movie news. I think, Adam, we missed you last week. I think it's time for a little bit of Back in Black.
It's the return of Back in Cilla Black, the chronicled tales of the Queen of the Merseyside. This week, Victoria, let me tell you. Did you...
What about me?
Jim,
Are you just talking to Brian?
Well, because she's the guest and she hasn't been here for the section. But Jim.
Yeah. And Victoria.
Did you know that, much like yourself, Cilla Black has the second name of a colour? But her stage name is Cilla Black, but she was actually born Cilla White. This is actually true facts. That, you know, did you know this?
No.
So she actually is called Cilla White.
You've had loads of research time whenever you weren't well.
Just wanking over autobiography.
Pages sticking together.
But so she was Cilla White, and then she changed her name to Cilla Black. But in the 90s, whenever, she was getting very popular, she actually bumped into Michael Jackson in the at the BAFTAs.
When she bumped into him, did he go, ow?
Hee. And she said to him, she was like, how did you deal with your transition and stuff, from after your accident? And he says it's okay. You don't need to worry, Scylla, because it doesn't matter if you're Scylla black or white. There we go.
Listeners, can I just fill you in on something, a little bit of context? I've already given one insight into Adam and I's little kind of chat, but earlier on tonight, Adam was like, yeah, I'll be there after 6 is good. I'm just in Wagamama's here. I've got a great Scylla for tonight.
Did I lie?
You did not lie. I think with that, we shall move on and discuss this week's big movie, and that, of course, is The Mummy. We've said earlier on, it's back in cinemas to celebrate its 25th anniversary. But before we do, I think it's time for a word from our sponsor.
Hello there. Welcome to Meet Fellas. I'm Marty Scorsese. No, not that one, but we are related. Now, I like movies just as much as the wee cousin in Hollywood, but there's one thing I like more, and that's great meat at fantastic prices. So come on down to the shop here in Castle Street. We've all the sausages, ribs, steaks, even those fancy kebabs and chicken vol-au-vent things, but none of that vegan shite. So, I'm Marty Scorsese. We don't do any of that promo code nonsense here at Meat Fellas. If you're listening and you want enough meat to get you sweating, get down to the shop here and just tell them Jim and Adam sent you.
So that's our word from little Marty Scorsese. I don't think he's going to be in this week. Well, we don't know. Sometimes he just storms in whenever he wants, but we'll have to wait and see.
Well, you've said his name twice, so one more time.
He's like Beetlejuice. He is like Beetlejuice. You did say before we started to record, he might be preoccupied, because as we're coming to the studio tonight, you did see Shazzy Shankle walking away from Castle Street.
Well,
with a bag full of meat.
Marty will be having a big smile on his face.
Hey, well, indeed, he'll be a happy boy. I don't think you'll see that cub this evening. Anyway, so we're talking about The Mummy, and Brian, we thought of you for this movie, because I'm going to imagine that The Mummy was right up your street. So are you a big fan of this film?
I fucking love this film.
Okay.
Just to clarify.
Just to clarify.
Yeah.
Sorry, Mrs. Brown, your daughter swore.
She swears at me, it's alright.
Yeah, it's different, though.
It's okay when it's a Stephen Sommers movie.
Yeah.
She understands. Mrs. Brown is like, I fucking love Van Helsing.
She actually does.
Yeah.
Oh, Van Helsing. Oh, and Kate Beckinsale's derriere. Sorry, Mrs. Brown. Sorry to lower the tone. So, yes, so you're a big fan of this. So we've got the perfect guest for this. I know we're going to play a clip in just a second. Adam, you a big fan of the original Mummy movie?
Love it.
Love
so
it.
good.
But not sweary love it?
Fucking bloody love it.
I absolutely fucking love it. And I had absolutely forgotten how much I fucking love this film until I rewatched it. So, yes, it's back in cinemas. I don't think it's in cinemas in Northern Ireland. We're not sure, but it's definitely playing in the Lighthouse in Dublin. I know that for a fact. Brilliant cinema down in Smithfield in Irish capital. So, yeah, we know it's playing there. We're not sure if it's playing up here. I think without any further ado, before we get chatting about the film, and yes, we will be chatting spoilerifically, let's play a clip of The Mummy.
He does seem to like you, Evie.
Yeah, what's that about?
What's this guy want in here?
There's only one person I know that can possibly give us any answers.
You?
Miss Carnahan. Gentlemen,
What is he doing here?
do you really want to know, or would you prefer to just shoot us?
After what I just saw, I'm willing to go on a little faith here.
We are part of an ancient secret society. For over 3,000 years, we have guarded the city of the dead. We've sworn at manhood to do any and all in our power to stop the High Priest Imhotep from being reborn into this world.
Now, because of you, we have failed.
And you think this justifies the killing of innocent people?
To stop this creature? Let me think.
Yes!
Question. Why doesn't he like cats? Well, cats are the guardians of the underworld. He will fear them until he is fully regenerated.
And then he will fear nothing.
Yeah, and you know how he gets himself fully regenerated?
By killing everyone who opened that chest.
And sucking them dry, that's how.
Donald, will you stop playing with that? When I saw him alive at Hamunaptra, he called me Anuksunamun.
Oh, Mummy! It's The Mummy! I'm surprised, Adam. It's me making that joke. Oh, Mummy.
I was waiting to make jokes about Oma Jalili's penis falling out.
Does it?
Yeah, have you never seen that?
No.
I'll send you the clip now. You know when the scarab was like going all over him? His cock falls out?
No.
It does, I swear.
That's not true.
No.
Yes,
Are you sure it's not one of them wee buggly wugglies?
No.
That just want to get up and close and personal to
It's Wiggly Wigglies.
Big wiggly wigglies?
Oh, well, if it's big enough to be caught on camera.
Well, cameras in it. So, yes, so we're going back to kind of pre-war, is it? I'm trying to think.
33 is?
33, back to Egypt. We have Imhotep. He's a bad un. He wants to come back. He's coming back to reanimate his dead bride lover, whose name I can't remember, but Brian will go.
Hamunaptra.
There we go. That's what we have Brian on for. He wants to bring her back, but standing in his way, of course, is Brendan Fraser, Rachel Weisz, and John Hannah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're going to save the day. Who needs the Ghostbusters? We can get Brendan Fraser. And as I say, I genuinely forgot how much I love this film, and I'm surprised how well it stands up, even with a bit of, at times, special effects. Real kind of throwback. A lot of it's done practically, I think. There is special, like we've already mentioned, not just Ahmed Jalali's penis. That was not visual effects. That was all practical.
Yeah.
I think the little Gribbly Wibblies, of course, they're special effects. Some of the mummies are special effects. But yeah, so Brian, you fucking love this movie. Why?
I was one of those children, and you'll never guess by looking at me. I was one of those children that was obsessed with Egypt, so any film, any book, any piece of art that I could get my hands on, I wanted it. So this was on in my house constantly.
Okay. Was your mum like, oh, for fuck's sake, not the mummy again?
She loved it. She encouraged it.
Okay.
Yeah. That and Van Helsing.
What about like the Disney Egypt movie?
The DreamWorks movie.
All right, okay.
She is the Disney queen.
She is the Disney queen. Yeah, you know, what can I say? The condescending tone and the look of smugness in her little face there.
Wasn't meant to be condescending.
Yeah, you know, it's like, I think you'll find that was DreamWorks. And that was not Disney.
Well,
and
actually, I find out it was DreamWorks.
Actually, that was wrong. So yes, you were watching this on repeat. I went to see this in the cinema. I actually think, I know I can't go into too much details because it wasn't with my lovely wife. I went on a date with a girl.
That's a
to
great
see
date.
The Mummy. And yeah, it was great because she got scared a couple of times. She's like, oh yeah, come on for a wee snuggle. It's like, all right. all right. I turned into Matthew McConaughey. So yeah, great film. And I kind of had a little crush on Rachel Weisz. I think who wouldn't? Who didn't want to be a sexy librarian?
Do you know whenever you're younger and you feel like older women in movies are just 50 years old, even though they're probably about 19? That's what I always felt about Rachel Weisz. And then now that I'm older, I'm looking at her going, fuck, what's happening?
I was saying what's happening even back then, but I would have been I would have been in late teens.
Yeah.
These came out, so I was like, what's happening?
Yeah.
It's all in the eyes, I think. It's all in the eyes.
Although, we'll talk about it when we touch. The Mummy Returns, her and the other girl fighting each other. That was an awakening. Tell you that.
We'll talk about the Mummy Returns because I have issues with that. So yeah, so this film, there's so many great set pieces. When we first see her character being introduced, there's a great sequence in the library where she's standing up on the ladder and then she kind of knocks everything down. And the guy's like, "Send me the plagues of Egypt, but anything instead of you." It was almost like being back in the scene. He needs to play clips, so we can get that. There's the prologue, and it's kind of going back, setting the scene. We have, I'm trying to remember the name of the actor. Is it Odair Fair?
The guy that plays the Magi?
Yes, he's kind of doing the monologue, and then he's kind of setting the scene. Imhotep betrayed the pharaoh to get with his concubine mistress, Anakma Masoon.
You were close. Hamunaptra.
There we go. Condescending tone again, Brian. And that all sets the tone, and then we cut to Brendan Fraser in the 30s. They're fighting in the City of the Undead. Did I get that right?
I think so.
There we go. Thank you. City of the Undead, and there's little hints of stuff might be happening. We cut then to Rachel Weisz, and then we introduce to her and her dick of a brother, who has no problem, just desecrating a little mummy's I don't know if it's a mummy, but definitely a coffin, and scaring his sister with a dead hand.
It's funny that the Jungle Cruise movie is trying to be exactly this, but instead of making the John Hannah character played by fucking Jack Whitehall, Instead of making him like, oh, he's a schemer, they just went, oh, we'll just make him gay.
Yeah. Because the Jungle Cruise is probably the closest kind of film I can think since then. It's tried to, I know a few other ones, and I suppose we've even had a few Indiana Jones films since this was released back in 99 that have tried to recapture that kind of the sense. Just, it's a good old fashioned swashbuckling adventure movie in that sense. There's a great sequence on the boat as well. I know I'm kind of going by plot by plot points. So Adam, interject here.
Brendan Fraser's outfit and curtains are so sexy. The white shirt with the brown gun holsters and his hair and those curtains, so good. Like he's
a good looking guy.
He looks good in George of the Jungle, but there's something about this character and that look that is like instantly recognizable. That they kind of try and rip it off in the Uncharted video games years later.
Because when I was watching it, I was kind of thinking, clearly the people behind the Uncharted movies clearly like the Mummy.
Yeah.
And he's a similar kind of character in terms of Nathan Drake as well.
He's a cheeky chap.
Until he became Tom Holland.
Well, yeah. But like this character, it's like that sort of Jack Burton-esque, but he's more proactive in the actual story. But
yeah,
it is fun to have a character that is based in the 30s, but has a wee bit of a modern tinge to him. I know that Fraser, as you know, injured himself because he did a lot of stunts.
Yeah, he nearly died in the hanging sequence, didn't he?
Yeah.
I only found out about that a couple of weeks ago. We were watching like a YouTube compilation of the worst on-set stunts that had gone wrong, and that was like number 8.
Yeah, and it's like in the next ones he just does less and less and less, which is fine until of course.
I think he wasn't, for a little while he was addicted to painkillers and stuff as a result of injuries in these kind of movies.
And then of course
Brendan Fraser was everywhere.
Yeah,
and then
Encino Man.
Yeah. Am I right, or did I make this up in my head? He was considered for Superman.
I don't know.
I think I'm nearly certain he was considered as a possibility in the Superman Returns era, which ultimately went to Brandon Routh. He was considered and I think watching it, I was kind of going, you would have been a great Superman, or even that chin.
Yeah,
been a good Batman.
Oh yeah, that would have been good.
He'd have been a good Batman with that chin.
Even the Flash. I know he's a wee bit older.
Yeah,
but if he had been, or even a Green Lantern.
Just anything.
Of course, he played famously the comic book character The Whale. The man who could never be seen.
Is it Teen Titans or one of those he's kind of in, isn't it?
He's in Doom Patrol.
Doom Patrol.
As Machine Man, I think it is.
And he was cut, and ultimately, he was in the Batgirl movie as the villain. And that movie's
Firefly?
Yeah, that movie's not happening.
No, that's just been deleted.
Yeah. He's a great presence, and I think I was reading some of the directors said he had that kind of classic Hollywood look. And the film does feel like, of course, we've got this far to the original Mummy movie as well. I mean, I think as the series went on, well, I suppose The Mummy Returns, and is it The Mummy, The Tomb of Egypt, or something like, whatever the third one's called, with Jet Li and Michelle Yeoh, it kind of became further and further away from those with the original with
Boris
Karloff. Yeah, just my head's all over the place this evening. And there's a lot of it's in the stuff when they're in the tomb and they're kind of going round, or the pyramid, I suppose, whatever, the tomb or the pyramid, there's a lot of horror vibes there. It's kind of 12A, kind of, not Hammer horror for kids, but I suppose kind of for, what was the name of the books? You're going to know this straight away. The horror books for kids. Goosebumps, yeah. Kind of Goosebumpsy kind of vibes in that kind of sense of the horror. Maybe that's just me, because I watched it. I was a teen, so I wasn't necessarily scared, but I was too busy kind of going, go on, wee girl. Go on, Lauren, have a wee snuggle up there. Don't you watch those sequences with the bugs, love? Don't you worry. Didn't last, by the way. Didn't even last the time The Mummy Returns was out. But good wee evening at the cinema.
You were like, wee bit of old agility for you.
Got a wee lumber, that's all I'll say afterwards. Got a wee lumber afterwards. But yeah, all the stuff. And it is creepy because you've got Imhotep and his attempts to come back to life with the jars. And then whoever gets these is cursed. Then he takes their life force, whatever, very kind of life forcey vibes.
Yeah.
At times. And I suppose we might even throw in a reference later on to the Tom Cruise Mummy movie, which I have a soft spot for.
Do you?
I do have a soft spot for it. I don't love
You
it.
sounded so shocked. Like,
I do have a soft spot for it, probably because it's just a Tom Cruise movie. It's buck daft. And again, it reminded me a lot of Life Force, because you've got a sexy female vampire, sexy female mummy this time, chasing out Tom. He's just running.
She has all the eyes.
She does have all the eyes. Is it Sophia Botella?
Yeah.
I'm glad I just pulled that. I pulled that out of my head, but can't remember Imhotep's name. Whenever we're doing a podcast, I've been planning for about a week.
Of course, I've been calling them fake Billy Zane.
Yes, that's very true. I did think for a long time, it's like, yeah, Billy Zane's in the Mummy. Of course he is.
I thought that too.
It's like, oh no, he's
What,
not.
the Titanic guy? No.
He's too busy chasing out Kate Winslet in the Titanic.
Mm.
Too busy, because, yeah, Billy Zane would have been this. But anyway, yes. I love all that. So here's a flaw, right? And Brian, you're going to know I have the small hills I'm prepared to die on, right? So when they get to the city of the undead, they awaken Imhotep with the Book of the Dead. It should not be read. Oh no, there's loads of locusts. What are we going to do? Very Jewish, if I can say so myself. But there's the 3 Americans that are then cursed, and he then sets about getting them to kind of basically steal their life force, essentially. I can't think of another way to put it. The first guy, and I hate that scene. So does the first American guy, the less wankery of all of them, who's got the glasses, and they're running away from something, and he gets knocked down, and then, of course, fucking Benny. he's walking past, he's like, hey, have you seen my crunch glasses? And then he's just like staggering through the tombs like, oh, can anybody help me? Bumps into Imhotep, who takes his eyes. His eyes are shit, right? So, like, what is the point in Imhotep taking his eyes? Because he'd be like,
well, he doesn't know their shit. He doesn't know what glasses
is that
are.
you, Brendan Fraser? Oh, feel them abs, son. Oh, Ahmed, not maybe later. Maybe later, Ahmed. Rachel, come on here, big girl. But, yeah.
He also takes his tongue, and it's like shouldn't Imhotep have an American accent?
Yeah.
Is that how that works?
Have we ruined this film?
No, you can't, because it's amazing.
I also love just minutes after that sequence. So there's a whole bit, they're trying to get away from the creepy crawly bugs. Rachel Weisz, am I getting that right, Rachel Weisz?
Think so.
Yeah. She kind of pushes her arse against the wall, turns round, and then she encounters, the fuck my tongue. You're like, what's that you're saying? The fuck my tongue. What? The fuck my tongue, my eyes. My eyes are gone as well.
You wouldn't have a cup of warm water, would you?
That's some salt. And then the mummy appears, and then Brendan Fraser comes and saves the day. And I just love that sequence where, like, he saves her, he's like, oh, we gotta go. And she's like, look at the mummy. And then the mummy's like, roar. And then Brendan Fraser's like, roar, back. It's like, yeah, he's my kind of guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know we're just going through plot by plot points. But I think...
Well, can I just say that that's an hour in?
Yeah.
And the fact that they spend an hour until they even get to the mummy.
Yeah.
Was something you would never see these days.
Well, you didn't get that in the Tom Cruise one.
No.
I think it rushes through pretty quickly to get through. Because I think it's right in the opening sequence, they unearth the tomb.
Yeah.
And then Tom Cruise just spends the rest of the movie running.
And then Russell Crowe comes in and be like, I'm a big blob.
My name is Jekyll, sometimes eyed. All right, I'm a hard bastard.
I've got yellow eyes.
That's like he was in the room. So, yes, The Mummy, the 99 one. And then you kind of go back, then you've got all this stuff about when they're back. Is it back in Cairo? And then they're drinking. Is it Cairo they go back to? And then they're all kind of drinking and all every single thing.
The blood
turns to blood. Imagine if you're having a piss. Imagine if you're having a piss. You're like, Jesus.
My kidneys.
Was I eating too much beetroot last night? Fuck. I am fucked. And then Imhotep, and then all the kind of zombies. So, well, kind of, not zombies, I suppose all the people, Imhotep. Imhotep. You're like a really shit mosh band, having more fun. They're having more fun there than all the Coachella fans were there enjoying Blur. They said more.
Did you see Will Smith coming out and doing fucking...
Yes, what the fuck was that?
Doing Men in Black at Coachella?
No.
Oh, man, he did it. Came out in a suit and everything.
Did people like it?
I liked it.
I did laugh. If you don't know about this, so Blur did Coachella and went out, we're doing all their big hits. None.
It's the wrong crowd.
Yeah. Who fucking booked Blur for Coachella?
Unless it's on TikTok, people at Coachella don't know what it is.
Yeah. Per eye Blur. Someone sent me actually a little WhatsApp messages, and it's Daniel O'Donnell playing Coachella and saying yours are all a big shower bastards. But yes, so how do we go back from Daniel O'Donnell to The Mummy? So yeah, all the sequence in Cairo, then it goes back to, you know, the city of the undead for one last big thing, and
you've got
Imhotep scared of cats.
You've got that big black ghost thing that looks like the thing from The Frighteners.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah,
because they were like, we don't know what to do with CGI.
After they go back to Cairo when Benny becomes his like little Renfield.
Oh, that's like during Cairo because he's like.
I think it's just they're in the city of the undead and he's trying to escape, and then he's like
he's going through his
all the different things,
yeah.
And then you're like, oh, the symbol of the slaves, isn't it? The
Jewish
Jewish symbol,
mm-hmm.
And you're like, okay, 2024 will not pull through much on that thread, but yeah, proud Benny.
I love Benny, and see the fact that the actor that plays Benny, like a few years before, was like the love interest in like Steel Magnolias.
Yeah,
and then after this, he's just like, I'm going to play the weirdo in everything.
And be great at it.
He's so good as Igor in Van Helsing.
Yeah.
I love it so much.
See, I haven't seen Van Helsing I don't think I've seen Van Helsing since I went on a date, unsurprisingly, to go see me.
Where were you taking all these women?
Oma Cinema, the greatest cinema of all time, that is sadly no more. But if anyone of a certain time will remember that it looked like a cow shed. And it was a great family-run cinema, then it closed, and the IMC bought it, ran it into shit. Then the Omniplex opened in Oma, and it all went downhill. But I have many fond memories of going to the Oma Cinema. Many a date. What can I say? I was a Lothario. And anyone who I've hurt over the years, I'm sorry.
What other movies did you take dates on? Because like it doesn't sound like you were like, come on, we'll go see Scent of a Woman. You're like, Mom, see Ghost Rider 2.
Hang on. Do you really think like a teenager's going to go see, here, love, you fancy go seeing that? Actually, I remember going to see What Women Want. That was as close to kind of like a chick flick.
Did you do the old joke, this fucking film was going for ages?
Did I go see Bridget? I went to see Bridget Jones. I'll tell you now, actually. Bridget Jones, went to see the first Bridget Jones movie on a date, and I am 100% certain I went to see, great choice, chick flick territory, Coyote Ugly.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, went to see that and then went on a night out.
Fantastic.
Yo.
That does sound good.
Got a lumber that night. Yo. But other dates I've taken over the years, I remember taking someone to see Star Trek Generations.
Were they into it?
No. It didn't go down well. And then I remember everyone wanted to go see, I think it was Toy Story 2. Toy Story 2. We're all told we were going to go see Toy Story 2 at the cinema. Oh no, so we're all arranged, we were all going to see The Beach. Which we'll come back to, movie we're talking about, Any Other Business, and
the Robert Carlyle classic.
And I was like, it's like, yeah, let's go see it. Hey, do not. And I know it's a flawed film, and there's a lot of problems about the film's production, and I know it's not really true to the book. The book's superior in every way. I love the book by Alex Garland, but we were all meant to go on a double date to see The Beach. I arrived, unsurprisingly for anybody who knows me, slightly late, and went in to see The Beach. No one else. I bought my ticket. No one else was there. And this is pre-tech. So I was like, well, fuck it. I'm just going to stay here. They obviously haven't showed up, or my mate has had the ultimate three-way. But let's not go on that because we were all young. And I met them as they were coming. I said, oh, we went to see Toy Story instead. It's like, all right, well, I went to see The Beach. But yeah, I had a date with me.
Nice.
Sometimes that's nicer.
Yeah, I love The Beach. What can I say? Anyway, so The Mummy. Brian, bring us back to topic.
Where did we get to?
I think we've pretty much went through the entire plot.
Renfield. And then Anoxenman comes back.
Renfield, of course, actually.
Because Anoxenman's in the second one. Does she come back in this one? I can't remember.
Briefly. I think she's in the opening sequence and you're like,
yes.
What about you?
Yeah.
And she's pretty much just naked. Because everything's just kind of painted on, isn't it?
It's a lot of bronzer.
And then she's back more in the sequel. I think you kind of see her kind of weird CGI gribbly creature when he's kind of
Is that the name of her folly?
That's why I've been going wrong all these years. Show us your CGI. Get your CGI gribbly out.
Get your gribbly out. I'm trying to watch the beach.
And I think when they're trying to reincarnate her, so basically Rachel Weisz's character has to be sacrificed, and at the same time, then that spirit can reanimate the corpse. Isn't it the mummy's corpse? And
yes,
yeah,
because like then is when you kind of have like weird things. There's things where the mummy returns where I think they don't align with each other. But yeah, yeah, she's in it. Anoxy. What is it?
I think it's a Nux in a Moon.
Oh, you get your Anoxy in a Moon out.
Because I just to be self-promotional plug here, I did an article for Fright Club about the Boris Karloff mummy, and I'm near sure the girl in that is called a Nux in a Moon, and I think that's a reference to Tutankhamun's wife.
Well, we've got this far since you did a piece for the Fright Club, and earlier on I mentioned Boris Karloff and his version of the mummy. He didn't say anything, Brian. Didn't say anything, Brian. Adam's just like, I think it goes Boris Karloff. I think so, Gemini. So you've written a piece. So do you want to put it into context in terms of those two films? Because I know we're going to maybe talk a little bit about the Tom Cruise one.
I mean, they're quite different. There is a reference in the 1999 one, because I think I mentioned this in the podcast before. My sister has a type. She fancies sexy pirates. And we were talking about films from the 90s, and your man Art of Bay that comes in, he kind of is like their guide through Egypt and kind of tells them, don't do A, B and C, but if you do, I'll be there to save you. His name is a reference to Karloff's character in the original.
Okay.
But in terms of plot, they're not that similar. Like, he's still been resurrected against his will. He's still trying to resurrect his long lost love, and there's the current version. I don't think he hates cats in it. I think he quite likes them.
See, I got confuddled. I thought Bernard Fox might have been in the original, but he's not. It's just a great bit of casting. I genuinely thought Bernard Fox might have been in the first one because of the age. I thought he might have been maybe a small role in that, but no, because I don't know. You'll probably know. Is there anybody from the original Mummy even like cameo appearances in that? I don't think so.
I think they were all gone by that point.
Yeah.
Because even Karloff himself, like in his early 40s and that.
They just had a few mummies back there.
Ethical issues there with the production team.
Yeah, it didn't stop Francis Ford Coppola in Apocalypse Now. Yeah, just get a few dead bodies in the background there. It'll be fine.
Alright.
Yeah.
What's this on the set of Poltergeist? Are these real? Shush.
That'll be fine. Right. Throw it out there. No one will notice. Yes. So no, I did thought, because I remember, because I love Bernard Fox in this film. He's just this great, and I mean, when he dies, sorry, spoiler, it is sad. And I did think at the time going, oh, is there a little kind of link between him and the first Mummy? Just for, you would get that now. Like if, okay, I suppose we did have a remake of The Mummy with Tom Cruise, and I don't think anyone from the Brendan Fraser one showed up. But I think now you would be like, oh, there's Brendan Fraser working behind the counter. Oh, he was in the first one, so he was. You'd be like, here lads, don't fucking talk to me about mummies.
The bar we called O'Connell's.
Yeah, shit like that.
Yeah, fucking... Now you're making me think about Ghostbusters Frozen Empire again.
Shh. Phil still doesn't know I'd need to know our true thoughts.
He doesn't listen.
Yeah, he doesn't listen. No. Yeah, so you're a big fan of this version of The Mummy. Don't think you're a fan of the Tom Cruise one, but you're clearly a fan of the 50s original.
Yeah. Fan of the 30s one, the 50s one. Fan of the first two in the Brendan Fraser universe. I try not to think about the third one.
And of course, the animated spin-off.
Oh, it's just a masterpiece.
Yeah, it's so good. Do you ever watch that?
No.
It is actually good.
Like, the Mummy Returns had, like, a animated show, and it was really good.
I never watched it.
They also had...
Too busy going to cinema. My dates. You get your gribbly out, love.
Well, Jim, the Mummy Returns cartoon had KFC tie-in toys that I was very excited about.
Okay. Is this the point then we say we should talk then about the sequel?
Yeah.
Or the sequels?
So
I think Universal, very pleased with how the film went. I think the story of Stephen Sommers was phoned the day of its release, and we're like, we want another one. And there's no way when you look back, and I rewatched it, because I watched The Mummy, because when we said we were going to do it for the pod, I rewatched and I said, fuck it, I'm going to rewatch The Mummy 2, and I'm going to watch The Mummy 3. Didn't bother with the Scorpion King movies.
Yeah.
And it does feel like a film that's been rushed. When you watch The Mummy Returns now, and you were talking earlier on about Joker, it's like little bits and stuff. You've got little pygmy mummies. That's quite cute. That's quite fun. But a lot of the CGI is terrible.
It's painful.
Is it a classic, like an actual story that ILM didn't finish?
Yeah.
the
I think they
the
had
Rock.
8 days. I think they had 8 days before the film's release.
Yeah.
That before it was due to be released, they were finishing the special effects.
They just went, that'll do.
That'll be fine.
Yeah.
Stick a wee hat and we'll be grand. And I was watching it, as I say, for the TV show. And I was like, with The Mummy Returns, and we haven't even mentioned their little brat child. Right?
Oh.
Haven't even mentioned what a my dad's gonna kick your ass. Fuck up, son. But
did you know he's meant to be 7?
Yeah.
Well, no, he's not.
And also
that's 7 years after the first one.
Yeah, and he's also in the 40s.
Yeah.
And like no kid talks like him.
They would have sent him away.
Yeah. Here, mummy, keep him. Here, mummy, you can keep him. But no, when I was watching, I was like, why do you feel the need? And it comes back to a discussion I know we had on the pod many years ago. We were talking about Alien 3, or one of the Alien movies, and it was like when special effects aren't maybe there. You're like, well, maybe do something else. So you have the Scorpion King at the start. And it's it is a great sequence.
Yeah.
When he's basically, I'm nearly certain, he's taking on the Pharaoh, isn't he? He's taking on the Pharaoh. He makes a deal and eats a big scorpion. Looks mushy, goopy.
Yes.
He then gets an army, goes off, and then the trick is, once that deed is done, he is no longer needed, and he goes back and cursed. Blah, 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 blah. Then we, of course, have all the kind of various nonsense ensues. Why then, in the finale, not just have The Rock show up? Why do you be like, here, lads, special effects aren't quite working here. Why don't we just get The Rock back and just say, you know, he's back? It's like fucking Imhotep's not like a big bugly thing.
Oh.
You know, he's just a mummy walking about the place.
It's
do you
weird.
do you know what I mean? Why not just have The Rock show up?
Yeah, because it's not as if it's called The Mummy 2, The Rise of the Scorpion King. It's called The Mummy Returns. And The Mummy returns within about 40 minutes. And the whole, it's taking me ages to get my eyes and my mouth and my body back. They're just like, that's okay, open these jars. He's back.
Yeah, the jars that were smashed in the original, there we go.
Yeah, he's back again.
Well,
Read this book.
Well, I think, because the sequence in the train, all the stuff in the train does remind me a little bit about Dracula. I suppose Francis Ford Coppola's Dracula. Or, sorry, Francis Ford Coppola's Bram Stoker's Dracula, to give it its full title. Reminds me of that, and the kind of finale of that, when they're kind of going through the train. That's great. And then you've got, again, this child that is somehow expert at all things craft-related, and that wee lad should be entering sandcastle competitions.
Yeah.
Because they're like, here, I just have a couple of minutes. There you go, there's a wee perfect reenactment of wherever we're going to next. There you go, it's perfect. Yeah. It's all right. So that's all I could do in a couple of minutes. If I had a bit longer, it'd have been a bit better.
Do you like that the Fraser and Weiss characters, because like they don't spend any time with that kid apart from like at the start and at the end, but like when they're on like the flying blimp thing, they're just like, come on, we'll have a nice wee date.
And then for no apparent reason, she just starts seeing visions of her previous self. So it turns out she's the Pharaoh's daughter, or she's a reincarnated spirit of. This is where I have issues with the first one. Well, not issues with the first one, issues with the continuity. So she's a reincarnated daughter of the Pharaoh. Brendan Fraser has a tattoo that no one fucking mentioned in the first one. It's like, here, what the fuck's that? Like, at least once in the first one, you'd be like, here, what's that? Don't know. Just a wee tattoo. Just got a bit drunk. Always had it.
I'm a big Red Hot Chili Peppers fan.
Californication all the way, lads. That shows up, and then there's a relationship between Rachel Weisz's character and
Anux in the Moon.
Yeah. There's a kind of rivalry there, and as Adam's already mentioned, their little fight sequence. Ooh. Oh, mama.
I remember I got the tape for Christmas.
Did you just keep rewinding it?
Well, kind of. I remember it was me, my dad, and my brother all woke up at the same time, and we're like, "That's a whole wanking competition." No, we stuck it on, and during that part, whatever year it was, 2002 or whatever, I would have been 9, and I remember like Christmas morning watching it, being like, I do like girls. Isn't that nice?
Aww. Had a wee like revelation about yourself.
Look at these two women, aren't they gorgeous?
They are gorgeous.
They are.
They do make Rachel Weisz's character a wee bit more tanned in this.
That's what I'm saying. They get the bronze right.
Yeah. She didn't get much of the bronzer in the first one, but definitely in the second one. And I read somewhere Stephen Sommers wanted to show that so both the leads characters, their character arcs had progressed a little bit, but then John Hannah, he would just be the exact same, just the same bumbling idiot who's just really there, wants to get some money, very relatable character, and blah 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 blah. But I don't know. Rachel Weisz's character in particular doesn't feel like the same character from the end of the first. I don't know, because it's not that her character can't be a gun-toting heroine, but she just feels much more action heavy in this one. You're looking at me like you're going to disagree greatly.
No, I agree with you. She's very, in the first one, she actually has her own personality. She has her own likes and dislikes. She can stand up to Rick in her own way, and she's smart and capable in her own way. Whereas in the second one, she's just kind of cardboard cutout action heroine. It doesn't feel like a natural arc for her.
Do you know the thing that bugs me about The Mummy Returns? They're one of them couples, and we're all coupled up here. Very keen on PDAs. Like here, we've just killed the mummy, or just, fought the mummy in London. Here and gives me cuddle love. I fucking love you. It's like, Jesus, like Amber, like the old time, just about lets me hold her hands when we're out and about. I don't know. It's just like, because in the first one, it's quite cute the way they have an attraction to each other. It's not really to the end of the movie. Like the romance doesn't get in the way of everything else. But this is like, oh, they're a couple now.
Yeah.
We know that they've boned because there's a wee kid. Isn't
Yeah.
it Alex?
Yeah.
Yeah, we shite. And yeah, he's about, as you say, they want to spend no time with that kid, even to the point where, like, here I suppose they did bring him with them. Like, we're just back from trying to, get a tomb, raid a tomb. Lara Croft wasn't available. You're going to go away again. Here, maybe John Hannah can look after Alex for a couple of weeks. Let's go.
John Hannah, his character was meant to be running a casino in the second one.
Yeah, so they then used that for the third one.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They just didn't have the budget for the second one. But the house in the first, or in the second movie, is a famous house. It's from The Omen.
Mm-hmm.
The house that they live in is from The Omen.
Is the house, is not Bruce Manor?
I don't know.
It's not Bruce Manor not Bruce Manor, Wayne Manor from the Burton Batman. It looks very much like it.
I was just doing a big IMDb read.
Okay, because I know apparently Fraser wanted them just to be like in an apartment. Because I think her family are quite wealthy, because at the start, in the first one, in the whole sequence in the library, there's a big sequence about her parents being one of the main donors, and that's the only reason why she's brought on.
And don't they steal some treasure at the end of the first one? Like,
probably.
So you stick a wee couple of coins in your pockets.
I think Brendan Fraser does it anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because then Benny's like, oh, help me. That's my Benny impression. No, help me.
Bye, Benny. Oh, poor old Benny. He comes to a sad end in the first one.
Oh, great mustache. He's very much John Waters.
Very John Waters.
He would have been so good as John Waters.
Make it happen.
He's still alive.
Yeah. Make it happen.
And he likes to play weirdos.
Let's make it happen here.
Let's make it happen.
Okay. So, yeah, Mummy Returns, when I was watching it, I was kind of like, those are the things I was thinking. It's like the Scorpion King coming back, making him this CGI Gribbly. Why not just have him as The Rock? The pygmy mummies are okay. They're kind of cute. I think the CGI was that was at its best.
Yeah.
With them, I remember in the opening sequence, there's the stuff with the magic carpet, the kind of hover balloon, or the balloon.
It's such a weird edit in the second one, because Brendan Fraser was like, we're going to need a magic carpet. And then it cuts to Imhotep with a 10-minute scene on the train. And then when it cuts back again, Rachel Weisz is like, this is what I thought whenever you said magic carpet. And it's like, clearly those two scenes were a joke.
Yeah.
That was broken editing. The editing didn't get the joke.
Yeah, didn't. And because the CGI for that, it's terrible. The CGI and then there's basically the reenactment of, or a replay of the first one. Near the end, Imhotep uses sand to try and stop them when they're coming in the plane. And this one, it's water. And
it's different.
It's different. I don't know. The second Mummy Returns feels much more, I think I alluded to this earlier on, much more action heavy.
Yeah.
And it's much more like this is kind of, I remember reading a book years ago, and it was a Hollywood producer talked about the Whammo scale. And basically it's like every 15 minutes, so you need another action sequence, move the plot along. As you made the point earlier on when we talked about The Mummy, it's what, nearly an hour, 40 minutes before we get to see...
I clocked it at 58 minutes.
Yeah, before all hell breaks loose.
Yeah.
It feels much more like an old-fashioned movie that's kind of aligned, kind of knowing nods to the Boris Karloff, but also even, I suppose, Indiana Jones as well, all that kind of stuff. It's prepared to take its time. I suppose, to an extent, we know all the characters. We know there's a mummy. He's returned. It's in the title. So why not? But
just nobody gets an arc.
Can I also make another point? And did we all rewatch this in advance for this pod?
Yeah.
Did any of you, I know this is jumping back to the first Mummy movie, when they find his tomb, his coffin, that's not the word. What would the word be, Brian?
Sarcophagus?
Sarcophagus. When they find his sarcophagus, they mention on, he who shall not be named. Did we all just think Lord Voldemort?
Hitler?
Yeah. Oh. I was like, Voldemort's here. Did you think about it?
Yeah.
Yeah, great minds think alike. And you just thought about Hitler.
Well, am I not?
You just thought about Hitler. What can I say? Yeah, that's flaws.
Good painter, man.
Great painter. Great painter. So, yeah, I just jump back to The Mummy. Mummy Returns. It doesn't have the same charm. And even, I remember there's a whole sequence at the end where Rachel Weisz's character dies. Then she's reincarnated. It's just a bit mad. I think what ruins it for me is little Alex.
Yeah.
I really don't like that kid.
It's a weird franchise too, because after 2, like we said, they made the animated series, they made a video game tie-in. They have multiple rides and multiple theme parks. And then, of course, they spun it off it's not even a year later with the Scorpion King. So they were like, this is big money. We need this. And then it took, 7 years for the third one to come out?
The third one, when it comes out, just feel like we've got this franchise. Let's just they've got this IP. Let's go do something with it. And if we move it to China, it might be big in China, in the Chinese territory.
Yeah.
That's really, and you've got Jet Li and Michelle Yeoh. And yes, Rachel Weisz doesn't come back. There's different reasons. Stephen Sommers is not back as director. I think I read somewhere there's different reasons for Rachel Weisz not come back. She didn't like the plot, or someone said she didn't believe she would have her character would be believable. Her character
playing the mother of a
21-year-olds, all that kind of stuff. Or other, just with other availability commitments with other projects, she just couldn't commit to the project. Because even Jet Li couldn't commit to the project. I think I read somewhere it's so that's why throughout most of the film, his character's CG'd because he's in command of the Terracotta Army. So his character is CGI for most of the film, so he doesn't need to be there until the finale sequence with Michelle Yeoh. And it's so underwhelming. You're going to put two all the time, but two great Asian martial arts superstars together. And it just is a bit of a damp squib. They don't really know what to do.
More like a panna army. It's panna food.
Yeah, we'll give you that one, Adam.
Yes.
But yeah, I don't know. You haven't seen the third one.
No, because I remember the third one coming out, and like I said, it's like I just didn't want... The fun of the movies to me is Rick and his wife and John Hannah going on adventures, and with the kid in the second one, it's like, right, you've done it, but then now they aged him up into a kid in his 20s. You're just like, can I have one or the other? It's like when you play Red Dead Redemption and you have to play as Jack Marston at the end of it. You're like,
oh yeah, sorry, you're talking about the first one.
First one.
Still haven't completed the second one.
You play as Jack at the end of the first one. You're like, well, I didn't come here for Jack. I came here for John. So I don't want it.
True. I just think it's not soulless. I just think it just exists because it's studios going, we have an IP. People love the originals, the first two. Let's do something. Apparently, there was a third in the works for years. It just kind of stalled in development. I think if they were doing it now, because the whole arc, because you've seen it, Brian. I know Adam hasn't. They kind of have the arc as like that. The O'Connells are like trying to embrace life post Tomb Raiding, and are finding life really boring, and they're like, let's have one last adventure. Let's go on one last adventure, and then that'll be us. It's like heroin addicts. We'll have one last bit of heroin. That'll be it. And then we'll not do any more heroin. But they're like, yeah, so this adventure comes and you've got the whole stuff with Alex. He's kind of going off and having his own adventures, and they converge in China. I think if they were doing that now, they'd do that idea of the older couple.
Yeah.
Like, wouldn't you just love, a bit like the last Indiana Jones film.
Mm-hmm.
It's like just one last hurrah, one last adventure.
They would do the whole, we need to rekindle our marriage, and this is how we met. Going on an adventure.
Yeah.
Which I would watch.
And it is weird. I'm the person who gets annoyed when, like, voice actors change in TV shows and animated shows, or an actor's recast. As you know, Brian, with Kermit the Frog. Kermit the Frog is no longer Kermit the Frog because the voice is just like someone trying to do a really bad impression of Kermit the Frog. And you're like, nah, mate, you're not Kermit.
Well, it is just what do you call the bad Kermit the Frog from Most Wanted.
I wouldn't even give you that because it was the same act. Don't get me started in this, because it was the same actor.
Oh, by the way, listeners, me and Jim love Muppets Most Wanted, and we will be covering it on the podcast one day.
I love Muppets Most Wanted.
So do I.
I love it. I'm number 2. You're number 1. Yes, I do love all that. My name first, spacebar, 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 your name. Yes, I love it. But I can't even agree, because the guy that does the voice for Kermit, and I apologize, the name for the villains went out of my head with Ricky Gervais. They do the same voice, but now it's a totally different actor playing him, and it's not the same. So it's weird that Rachel Weisz isn't back, and they do the whole joke. It's like, you might say I'm a completely different person. You're like, all right, get over it, guys. It's not that clever a joke. I will have to apologize, listeners. I will have to go on the old Google and get the name of the actress that is in The Mummy, The Tomb of the Dragon Emperor.
I'm going to say her name is
it is
Monica.
Mario Bella.
So close.
Mario Bella, who was in, who, if I'm right, was in that film I mentioned earlier on. Yeah, she was in Coyote Ugly.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so there it comes.
Right
It all comes full circle. So you've seen
I have.
The Mummy, The Tomb of the Emperor, whatever it is called. I can't even remember. I just read it 2 seconds ago and I've already forgotten it.
Dragon Emperor? Emperor Dragon?
Tomb of your boy.
Dragon
Emperor. Tomb of your boy.
Your boy's tomb.
Dragon my belt.
Yeah. So, it's fine, but it's not. It's got none of the charm of the first one.
No, it's not awful. It's one of those ones where if it was a standalone, it might be like one of those really nostalgic things. You show a date in 10 years' time and be like, oh, I love this as a kid.
Mm-hmm.
But because it's riding on the coattails of The Mummy, which was great, and then the second one was so bad, it's trying to find its feet again and trying to be charming, and it just doesn't work.
It's just a wee bit over the place. Then there's Yetis, if I remember right, showing up. And we've got the whole terracotta army. We've got, as I say, what should be amazing, a big confrontation between Jet Li and Michelle Yeoh. And it's like, there's no Yeoh at all. It's just like, meh. It's less Yeoh, more meh.
Michelle Meh.
Michelle Meh. There we go. I've coined that phrase for the next time Michelle Yeoh is in a meh film. There we go. Copyright here. And this whole mention you mentioned earlier on, we have John Hannah's character. He owns the casino, and that just feels like a throwback to kind of the second Indiana Jones movie. I don't know. Rewatch it. I remember watching it at the time. I think I did. I don't think I've seen it at the cinema. It was meh. I was like, have I seen this? Put it on. It's like, I have seen this. And I was like, oh, I have zero interest in this. Even The Mummy Returns, as flawed as it is like, it's fine. The first Mummy, it's like, the first Mummy I could probably, I've watched it a couple of days ago, quite easily. If it was on ITV2 tonight, go home, I'd happily rewatch it again. It's another one of those, like Jaws, all those kind of things. I'll happily watch it. Even if I tune in and there's only going to be half an hour of it left, I'll happily rewatch it.
Yeah.
I don't know. So, I know we're going to move on. I know before we do, I mentioned, either of you seen the Tom Cruise Mummy movie?
Unfortunately.
No, I did see it. I went to see it in the cinema. And I maybe need to go back and rewatch it. It's not great. And it doesn't hold a candle to the 99 original. Or the 99 Brendan Fraser version. But I thought it's fine. I don't think it's amazing.
Was it fine because you like Tom Cruise?
I do like Tom Cruise, not as much as Brian Mulholland.
No.
I do like Tom Cruise, and there is plenty of Tom Cruise running about. It's just one of those. I love the whole thing because it was going to be the Dark Universe, wasn't it going to be?
Yeah.
And it was like they put the whole cart before the horse, And everything was all set up. They were going to have a Bride of Frankenstein movie, although that's kind of happened, though it's been retooled now with Maggie Gyllenhaal, I think, directing.
It's one of the funniest photos of all time.
Oh,
it's like Tom Cruise, Angelina Jolie, Javier Bardem.
Yeah.
Was there somebody else?
Mr. Invisible was there somewhere. But I kind of like it for as flawed as it is. It's just, when you see how Tom Cruise operates, I think the fact that he was going to be in a franchise, it's weird because I suppose the comparison would be Robert Downey Jr. in the Avengers movies, where Robert Downey Jr. I think was quite happy just to come in and do his thing as Tony Stark, but didn't want it whole focused about me. But when you get a Tom Cruise movie, of course it's all going to be focused around him. He's going to want his way or the highway. And it's not a Tom Cruise. I think Mark Kermode made the joke at the time. You don't need to call this film The Mummy. It's just Tom Cruise.
Yeah.
Because that's what it is. I think it's fine. I don't love it. I would watch the 99 Mummy movie or the Boris Karloff one or any of the Hammer ones as well before. But anyway, I think with that, we shall move on. I know, Adam, I know this should be a movie news, but you're quite excited because Banderflix is going into our own trailers now. Banderflix is going into our own movies now. And I believe you have a rough cut of the new trailer for our first production, which is a new Meg movie.
Of course, the Meg, such a big franchise hit.
Yeah.
That they actually reached out to me and went, do you want to direct the Meg 3?
All the Netflix money we finally got came through from our Christmas special.
And I was like, I've got tonsillitis, but I could probably give it a go.
Okay. Do you want to give our listeners are very excited.
So here is the radio spot for the Meg coming to cinemas
sometime.
Repeat, we are under attack by what seems to be a megalodon. Call the experts. Call Statham. Statham is back on top form in Per magazine. How could the same thing happen to the same guy thrice? Outstanding. You'll believe Statham can swim, the Independent. We're gonna need a bigger boat. And I ain't gonna need bigger chunks, boy. The inclusion of Julian from UTV is brave. Exactly what the franchise needed. The Sun. Sure send big teeth again and I'll slap a bit right off you. The Meg 3. Only in cinemas.
I am excited by that.
Sounds good, doesn't it?
I like the fact that you're like, you can believe Statham, who was a diver, can swim.
That's how good an actor he is.
Yeah, that's how good he is. So, yeah, looking forward to coming to cinemas when, Adam?
Soon.
Some point. We've got the Netflix check. We just have to cash it.
Yeah.
So exciting things. So I think with
Statham
that,
worked for free, you see.
Yeah.
Because he just loves sharks.
And we told him he was working with Martin Scorsese.
And Julian from UTV.
Yeah.
And he was like, I'm in.
And so he's that to look forward to. So that's movies that are out. That's a movie that's out in the future. So that's a movie out in the future. I think now we'll chat. We've talked about the Mummy. We've talked about the Mummy franchise. I think we'll move on to a little bit of any other business and what else have we been watching. So Adam, you're up.
Big screen or small, we've seen it all. It's what you've been watching. Do.
Oh, the wee do-do-do's now.
Do you like it?
There we go. I like it. You're bringing it back. So, yeah, in terms of what else we've been watching, the big thing for me has been Civil War, the Alex Garland film. Either of you seen this yet?
Not yet.
Oh, that was fantastic. I am a big
Spider-Man good enough?
Yeah. I am a big fan of Alex Garland anyway. Even Men, which was out last year, the year before.
Yeah.
For all its weird creepiness. And if you've seen Men, you'll know that finale with a lot of rebirths and a lot of stuff happening on screen. Have you seen Men?
I've seen Men twice.
Everywhere walking about. Just walking about.
I worked at a cinema when I was out, and I would often bring other staff members in after I'd seen it to be like,
for that sequence,
you need to come watch the last 10 minutes of Men, just so you know how good it is. Yeah. Well, how good it is. Well,
I don't think it's a masterpiece. It is a little bit flawed, but I love it. I loved Annihilation, loved Ex Machina. I remember going to see it, and just the score, particularly for Ex Machina, just blew me away. So I thought this was fab. Film that's dealing with this kind of totally unbelievable concept that America has turned upon itself. We have a president, a 3-term president, who's dissolved the FBI, holding on to power, and various states, bizarrely California and Texas, have teamed up. Who'd have thought it? They've teamed up and various states are fighting amongst them. And then we have Kirsten Dunst's character leading a group of photojournalists on the journey to see the president, to ask the president, to interview the president, and all hell breaks loose. Brilliant war movie. I think I said when we talked about the TV show, I'd love to see more of the world that it creates, because it's very focused and very linear in its sense. We're getting from A to B, a lot of tension, a lot of style. Kirsten Dunst is great in it. There's a young actress who played Priscilla in Priscilla, unsurprisingly enough. I forget the name of the actress. She's great as this young whippersnapper that comes along who wants to be a photojournalist too. There's various contrivances as well. There's an older journalist and you're like, right, I know what's going to happen from the moment you set foot in this car. I know what's going to happen to your character. Great film. You can see it's heavily influenced by the likes of like I mentioned earlier on, Apocalypse Now, all those kind of anti-war Vietnam films, very much influenced by, road movies. I thought it was fab. So that's my one movie I'll throw out. So Victoria, you've had a long time to think now. I know you've got a film you want to mention as well you've seen, but how many films, now it's been 2 weeks since we last recorded with Adam, how many movies has Adam watched since we last recorded? Bearing in mind he was sick, and then he was fucking about at home because Storm Kathleen blew the roof off where Adam works.
Yeah.
So, bear in mind, I think last week, the last time we had you on, I got this bang on the money.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to say, with that number in mind, 23.
Jesus wept. How much free time have you got?
This is Adam. Adam doesn't sleep.
I was going to say 14.
So close. 13.
So
close. Yeah. Let's marathon this shit. Soon as I was sick, in bed, watched for the first time, we talked about it on the journey home last time.
Trouble in Little China.
Big Trouble in Little China. And it was great.
Yeah, great show.
I loved some Jack Burton.
Yeah.
And I kind of wish there was a sequel.
There's a comic sequel.
I've seen that, but it's like really impossible to buy. Like because it picks up right at the end of the first one.
Got it, mate.
Oh, yeah.
Got this. You might see if I can hook it out for you.
Cheeky. Then I watched Mute Witness. You ever see that? 1995 movie about Americans making a movie in Russia, and then the special effects girl is deaf. No, she's mute. Obviously, Mute Witness. She's mute, and she goes back to the studio one night to collect something, and she witnesses people making a snuff movie, and then
This sounds familiar.
She has to tell people what happened, but obviously she's mute, so nobody believes her.
Can she write stuff down?
Yeah, but they're all Russian, and they're all like, we don't know what you're talking about. I'm number
we
2.
We just like vodka.
I'm number 1.
You're number 2.
Then I watched Robert Altman's Images.
By the way, and at any point in Mute Witness, did they go to the gulags? The thing we sung about? Back in the gulags.
We're just going to spend a whole podcast singing that soundtrack. I love it. Together again. Again.
Again.
Robert Altman's Images. Ever see it?
Tell me the plot.
Woman kind of thinks she's going crazy, thinks her husband is having an affair. So they go...
A lot of movies.
I know. So they go into the countryside. You don't think you would ever, I can't really explain it because it is just a lot of it's called Images. It is just a lot of images.
Okay.
Very much reminiscent of, what do you call that movie from last year? I don't know how to pronounce it. ENYS Man. Enos Man? Enos Man?
Enos Man.
That's a porno. Then I watched the Jackass movie.
First one?
The first one?
Yeah.
Because I was getting excited for Bam and Jarrah coming here.
Oh yeah, I forgot. You wanted me to say about arranging an interview. Shock horror, I didn't even
watched a new found footage movie called Frogman.
Okay.
Again, the problem with found footage movies these days.
How do you get the footage?
Well, not that. They should be just VHS segments, but they've blown it out to an hour and a half. Stan Helsing, the parody movie about fucking horror movies. This is how sick I was getting. Then I watched Dogma because I was watching Kevin Smith clips on YouTube, and I thought, fuck it. Then I started to feel better, so I went to the cinema and watched The First Omen, because Joe says it was brilliant.
Mm-hmm.
Joe's full of shit. Have you seen it?
Is this the bromance over?
No.
No, I want to kind of do the First Omen in a double bill with Immaculate.
Oh, yes.
Which Joe will be interesting to speak to about that then.
Because I, without getting into too much details, don't really want to take my wife to go see Immaculate. So I'm trying to get an opportunity to go on my own. And if I go do that and do a double bill, she'll be like, after listening to this podcast, who are you taking on a date to the cinema? You.
Immaculate is on VOD.
Okay.
Then I watched a film you covered on the TV show a few weeks ago, Suitable Flesh, which I thought was fun.
I thought it was fine, yeah.
It's like a Lifetime
Heather
movie.
Graham, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. It's like a Lifetime movie with a wee bit of gore.
Dr. Nicole Hamilton loved that film when we had her on the TV show.
Maybe because it's about doctors.
Yeah.
Then I watched the Gore Verbinski classic, Mouse Hunt.
Lee Evans
and Nathan Lane. Fantastic. Then Empire Strikes Back.
Okay.
Then Joker. Then The Mummy.
There we go. Good list.
That's
quite a selection.
Good list. Brian, what else have you been watching?
See, I haven't watched that much in the last 10 days or so.
Yeah.
So I saw, I can never remember which order it is. Is it Kong Godzilla or Godzilla Kong?
Godzilla Kong.
Godzilla Kong.
I actually really enjoyed that. I didn't think I would.
Oh, Brian, it was all going so well for you in this podcast.
It was so stupid. It was fun.
Did you not feel your brain hurting?
A little bit, but
did you not near fall asleep like we did?
see, the Strand. We saw it at the Strand, and they were doing a sound check above, so it kept me awake. What else? I watched Leprechaun and Leprechaun 3 randomly.
Not 2?
No, skip 2.
Is 3 in space?
3 is the Las Vegas one.
Oh, the Vegas one.
Yeah, that was actually the first one I watched.
The space one's actually pretty good.
I've heard the space one's good.
It's like an episode of Red Dwarf.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Keep that in mind.
I'll maybe give it a go. I don't think I've even seen the Leprechaun.
I watched a very,
Jennifer
very...
Aniston, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, because it was her first film role.
Was it?
I think so.
Okay. I always thought her first role was, I could be right way wrong, is Office Space.
No, she was like 99.
I suppose, yeah.
Also watched a very, very young Bruce Campbell in Maniac Cop.
Hell yeah.
Which I loved.
Great film.
Have you seen Maniac Cop 2?
Not yet.
Well, that's spoil it.
Okay, don't tell me anything.
There's a great Man on Fire in Maniac Cop 2.
Ooh,
it's one of my favourites.
And then we watched Rawhead Rex, which was a random one. It's like a Clive Barker.
So good.
Very random, obscure one, but it was fucking great.
Great St. Patrick's Day film.
Mm-hmm. Been on a bit of a Humphrey Bogart kick, so I watched In a Lonely Place, which was fine. Lovely Joe is on the pod quite a lot. He does a Noir-vember every year where he just binges noir films, so anytime I need a suggestion, I just go to Joe. But the one that's stuck in my head is more of a local film, which is Unsinkable.
Okay.
So
this is Titanic, because
yes.
this is another of your passions.
My baby.
Never heard of
the old boat that sunk.
My poor
Never.
something baby.
Because listen back, regular
heard of
listeners will know we've had Brian on talking about Titanic as part of our Cameron retrospective, and you talk quite a lot about that and various projects that you're working with and involved. So Unsinkable was out in it's out in cinemas now. I don't know for how long. I'm imagining it's going to go to VOD pretty quickly, or might find its home on streaming services. We have actually been sent a screener for it. Just haven't got around to watching it yet. Brian, pardon me as I burp. We have been sent a screener for it. Brian, this is your opportunity. Is this worth me seeking out when I've got the screener literally in my email?
It's worth watching, but don't expect a lot.
Is there at any point someone fallen and they get mushed by a propeller?
Unfortunately not.
That doesn't sound good.
No.
That's the one selling point.
Yeah.
So I got invited to...
Does anyone at any point paint them like they're French girls?
Unless I missed that bit now, because I may have dozed off at one
No
point.
nip?
No nips?
No nip, unfortunately.
Billy Zane?
Nope.
Fake Billy Zane?
Nope.
Captain just dying?
I don't think you see that, actually.
Bernardell lives.
Gondor will answer! Yes, so Unsinkable, apologies.
It's all right. Like I'm involved with the Belfast Titanic Society, so I got a pre-invite to go to the actual premiere because we sat in the same row as the actress whose name I can never bloody remember, but she's from here and she's blonde.
Nuala McKeever.
Pamela Ballantyne.
Whatever her name is, she's lovely. But she sat in the same row as us, and you could tell she was really into it. Me and my partner were kind of like, it's all right.
You told her it then? And she's like, what do you think? You think it's all right?
No.
She shade.
So I'm guessing Karen Allen wasn't there then?
No.
No.
So
Indy.
You had said to me before when we did the camera retrospective that there's a play based on the inquiries that took place after the sinking. That's what this is.
Okay.
So it's about the main American congressman's like passion to try and prove who was at fault and to try and get some closure.
The play is fab.
This is not like it's fine. It just feels very surface level. And there's a journalist character who did my fucking bapping because it felt like they were just trying to have a woman in it for the sake of having a woman in it. There was no need for this journalist to be a woman other than to be like, hey, look, women can write too.
Did she wear a hat that said press on it?
I mean, she wore a hat the whole way through and it was annoying me for some reason. But it's
Did you
fine.
have a wee drinking problem? Did you like to go to the bar for a wee drink?
No.
Did she have a typewriter?
She did. A typewriter and a cigarette in a candlelit room.
Cliches.
It's fine for a beginner's like first go at that side of the story. It doesn't go into a lot of detail, and considering they had quite a modest budget, they did what they could with what they had. But the actual film, it's okay.
I'm guessing when it's on a budget like that, there's very little of the Titanic itself.
They're quite clever with it. They do a lot of it from the point of view of the passenger, so you'll see like an angled shot of like the side of the ship or peeking over from like a lifeboat or something. And they did say, because they did like a wee Q&A after, they did manage to find this massive like swimming pool at the very last second where they were able to put a load of the extras and stuff. So they did what they could with what they had. It's okay. You can tell the people involved were passionate about it, but it could have been better.
Okay.
Sorry if you're listening.
That's okay. Well, as I say, I've got the screener to look forward to. I'm intrigued by it because of the concept and the fact that it's based on that play, which I'm surprised because we've just had the 113th anniversary recently. Because usually around that time, the play surfaces, no pun intended, somewhere in Belfast, which didn't happen this year. Maybe because it's not, the 100th or the 110th, maybe, the 120th, 115th, maybe. If you ever get an opportunity, I would recommend. I don't know of the plays by the same name. But brilliant play. I've seen, it was at the Belfast City Hall. I got to see it many, many years ago. So yeah, that's pretty much us for this. So thank you very much, Victoria.
Thank you, Jim.
Thank you very much, Adam.
Thanks, Jim.
Adam, I'm going to give you another break because I know we're going to be back in around a week. We're going to be talking about The Phantom Menace because it's back in cinemas for Star Wars Day. But we're going to give you a little break because before Star Wars Day, there's an even bigger event. That's Alien Day. And I thought it would be an opportunity, myself and the lovely Joe, we're going to be back in the studio. No, last week we were talking about The Terminator. We're going to leave it for a little while, but we thought we'd drop our Aliens podcast a little bit early. So that's going to be dropping this Friday for Aliens Day. So seek that out and enjoy. So loads of podcasts. Make sure you subscribe. You can go back and listen to our back catalogue wherever you're getting your podcasting fix, or now a lot of people seem to be listening to it on YouTube, which is something I never thought I'd say. So yeah, thank you very much. We'll be back with another podcast pretty soon. But for now, until then, goodbye.